Hey, good morning. My name is Chasen Ishii, Chairperson for the Authority. I'd like to call to order the July 5th, 2023 public hearing of the Hawaii Community Development Authority. And the time is now 9 a.m.
Thank you, Chair. In accordance with section 92-3.7 Hawaii Revised Statute, the Hawaii Community Development Authority is holding today's public hearing both virtually on Zoom and in person. The Zoom link details were included in the public hearing notice. Therefore, members of the public are welcome to join us on Zoom or at the physical meeting location at the American Brewery Building, 547 Queen Street, second floor boardroom, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96813. This hearing is also being live streamed on HCDA's YouTube page. The HCDA communications staff is hosting the Zoom portion of this hearing. Once this public hearing begins, everyone will be muted for clear audio. Board members, if you have any comments or questions, please unmute yourselves to speak. It is important that all individuals clearly state their name each time prior to speaking. This is a public hearing to prevent any distractions. If you are attending virtually and you are not a board member, staff member, or HCDA's Attorney General, please turn off your video during the meeting. If you are providing verbal public testimony, your name will be called accordingly. If you are attending in person, when your name is called, please come to the front of the room. And if you're attending virtually, please turn your video on only while providing your testimony. In either case, please clearly state your name, affiliation, and proceed with your testimony. In accordance with section 92-3.7C, Hawaii Revised Statute, if the authority's connection for the remote meeting is lost, the hearing will be recessed until the connection is restored. If the connection cannot be restored within 30 minutes, the hearing will be reconvened tomorrow at 9 at the same physical location and virtual Zoom link as today's hearing. Thank you, Chair.
Let the record reflect the following Kaka'ako members are present. Vice Chair Apo.
Present.
Member Iga. Member Miranda Johnson.
Present.
Member Anderson.
Present.
Member Hirai. Present. Member Evans.
Present.
And Member Sakota.
Here.
Yeah, quorum.
Chair, we have quorum.
Individuals from the public who have requested to provide verbal public testimony on a specific agenda item are on standby and will be permitted to provide testimony respectively. The counsel for the applicant make their appearances at this time.
Good morning, Chair Ishii, members of the authority, Executive Director Nakamoto, and HCDA staff, Brian Kang and Vanessa Wen appearing on behalf of applicant Victoria Williams. Morning.
Today's hearing on development permit number KAK 23-027 is being held in accordance with Hawaii Revised Statutes, section 206E-5.6, Hawaii Administrative Rules, Chapter HAR 15-219. Requested Hawaii Administrative Rules, Chapter 15-22. The nature of today's public hearing is to allow the applicant, Victoria Ward Limited, to present the proposed project and to provide the general public with the opportunity to present oral and/or written testimony. The applicant, Victoria Ward Limited, development permit number KAK 23-027, application Mahana Ward Village, Block 1, Project 6, tax map key number 12-3-002-116 portion. Project location 423 Ward Avenue, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96814. The request before us is for a development permit application dated May 19, 2023, proposing to build a single tower, 340-unit residential mixed-use condominium called Project. The proposed project consists of a single condominium tower located on a 75-foot high parking and mixed-use podium located on a 80,256 square foot lot on the northeast corner of Halikaweela Street and Ward Avenue. On the ground level, the project will include approximately 170 square feet of open space and approximately 47,900 square feet of recreational space with amenities. A total of approximately 503 parking stalls will be located in the 75-foot high parking podium. Residential and commercial loading areas and public bicycle parking are proposed as part of the project. In conjunction with this development permit, the applicant is also requesting the following modification from the vested Kaka'ako Maka area rules, collectively referred to as modification request. Modification of the height of the parking and mixed-use podium from 45 feet to 75 feet, and an additional 12 feet for accessory use structures, having a total area less than 15% of the parking mixed-use podium roof area. And B, an additional 18 feet for vent pipes, fans, roof access stairwells, and structure housing rooftop machinery on the mixed-use podium roof. The applicant will be making a presentation at a separate public hearing for the three modifications tomorrow, Thursday, July 6th, 2023 at 9:00 a.m. A public hearing notice was published in the Honolulu Star Advertiser, Maui News, the Garden Isle, Hawaii Tribune Herald, and the West Hawaii Today on Wednesday, June 1st, 2023. Let me at this time briefly explain our procedure for today's public hearing. HCDA staff will present its report summarizing the development permit application. Following that presentation, we will receive the presentation of the applicant, then testimony from the public. Only members of the HCDA authority and the executive director will be permitted to ask questions of the staff, applicant, intervener, or individuals providing testimony. I will be acting as presiding officer for this hearing. Are there any questions to these procedures? First, in accordance with HAR.
Can I just jump in? I
Sure.
just want to note that member Higa joined the meeting virtually at 9:03. Right, sorry.
Welcome, member Higa. First, in accordance with HAR 15-219-49, interested persons were provided an opportunity to intervene and participate as a party in this hearing by submitting written requests to HCDA by 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, June 21st, 2023. For the record, there was no such motions to intervene received by HCDA for the Mahana Ward Village application. We will now begin our proceedings. HCDA Director for Planning and Development, Ryan Tam, will now present the staff report. All right.
Good morning, Aloha Chair Ishii and board members.
Hello.
The staff report is in your packet and is uploaded for public review. I did want to take a minute to acknowledge the hard work of staff member Janice Boltnikoff and the rest of the team. So we thank her for the hard work for this. In the interest of time, I'll summarize the staff report and highlight just a few key points. Again, the application was deemed complete on May 30th, 2023, and it will be automatically approved on November 6th, 2023, if no action is taken before then. Again, the purpose of completeness review is to determine whether or not all the required information is provided and does not constitute a determination as to whether or not the application complies with the provisions of the vested Malka area rules. Again, the proposed project is a part of the Ward Village Master Plan. Section 4, starting on page 2 of the staff report, provides background on the master plan, which is valid until January 14th, 2024. We did receive comments from several city and county Honolulu agencies, as well as the Department of Education and Hawaiian Electric.
Just of note. Comments from Hart, which, as you know, the rail station is located just immediately adjacent to this site. Hart's comments, they did request that HCDA require Victoria Ward to continue to communicate and coordinate with Hart on the proposed development with respect to any issues, including and without limitation, any safety and security issues that may affect Hart's use of the Hart easements, which are currently the subject of a pending eminent domain action or plans for the Kukulaiao station and the fixed guideway system. Hart did request that the Mahana project include design features such as screening and mesh covering to mitigate the potential for objects being thrown onto the guideway or the rail tracks, mitigating access to the guideway or station structures from the project, such as, for maintenance. Some potential locations of concern based on Hart's preliminary review of the plans include the parking deck openings facing the guideway, as well as the 8th floor amenity deck. And they did note that the mitigating design features may be already incorporated, but that Hart requested communication to confirm that the safety concerns are adequately addressed. Hart also requested that allowances for drainage from the station and guideway be accounted for, as well as load studies to protect sag or other impacts to the Hart structures. They also provided another comment via email that it is unclear whether or not the depictions of the Hart easements included in the permit application match the meets and bounds of the Hart easements being condemned in the eminent domain action, and that Hart also requested coordination to resolve any conflicts on this. Just some other some highlights in the staff report, again, in the interest of time. The podium height modifications, they were included in the ward master plan and will be discussed in tomorrow's hearing. By the way, another comment from the City and County Department of Design and Construction. They do not have any comments on that.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that last sentence?
Sorry, so just wanted to point out a further comment from the City and County of Department of Design and Construction. They did have no comments. So just to add that to the previous discussion. In terms of density and tower height, starting on page 6 of the staff report, the site is part of the land development agreement for land block 1. And with the project, the floor area ratio will be about 3.52 for the block. The master plan, starting on page 8, and industrial uses. The master plan does provide a floor area ratio bonus for providing industrial uses. There will still be a deficit based on the number of projected industrial uses for the development. In terms of open space, they'll be providing about 10,905 square feet of open space at ground level. This is more than the required. Off-street parking, page 11. They will be providing 503 stalls, which is well over the required 443 stalls. And again, 42 stalls will be off-site at the Park Ward Village. They will be meeting the public facilities dedication, page 14. The requirement of 16,760 square feet will be met by the pending PFDs. On page 17, reserve housing will be met by the credit from Ulana. And that's about 68 units. For the circulation, page 20, the entrance will be on the driveway from Halakula Street. Page 21, streetscapes. Staff did work with the applicant to improve the pedestrian experience between the rail station and the central plaza, the central landscape park area. The applicant did remove they had preliminary plans for an entrance driveway off of Hollywood Street, so they actually reworked that in order to provide a more seamless pedestrian experience. We do know that the applicant is proposing a temporary trellis to separate their plaza from the rail station. In the future, staff recommended this trellis be opened up so that the rail station entry plaza opens up directly into the development. In terms of landscaping, again, most of the area along Hollywood Street is an enclosed arcade, right in covered pedestrian walkway. Regarding consistency with the master plan, the development is providing commercial and residential liners. So that is also positive for the urban form regarding the streetscape and urban form. Lastly, just to, I think there were 19 regarding public testimony, there were 19 comments for and 1 against as of this morning. And the one testimony against the project was commenting regarding the podium height. And we do know that the podium height being proposed is the same as Keki Mahana. So that the commenter, I think, may not have understood the application request. Subject to your questions, are there any other?
Members, are there any questions in regards to the staff report? Not, will counsel for the applicant please describe your exhibits that you wish to have admitted to record?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Victoria moves into evidence its exhibits for this proceeding listed in its exhibit list filed on June 27, 2023. And those are marked as exhibits 1 through 30.
Thank you. Members, do you have any objections to the exhibits that are being offered by the applicant? Does the executive director have any objections to the exhibits being offered by the applicant?
No objections, Chair.
Hearing no objections, the applicant's exhibits 1 through 30 are admitted to the record. Will you be establishing any of your witnesses as experts in the subject area?
Yes, Chair Ishii. Victoria Board would like to request that certain witnesses listed as expert witnesses in its witness list be qualified as expert witness in the following areas of expertise. Those would be Tom Bennell in urban planning, Joseph Ferraro in architecture, Emilia Peach in retail commercial strategy, Glenn Kauai in civil engineering, Kathy Leong in traffic engineering, Paul Brubaker in economics, Chad Takisui in real estate marketing, supply and demand, Matt McDermott in archaeology, Alexandra Benekis in archaeology, and Kira Downing in Hawaiian culture, history, and language.
Members, do you have any objections to the qualification of expert witnesses offered by the applicant? Does the executive director have any objections to the expert witnesses offered by the applicant?
No objections, Chair.
Hearing no objections, the list of experts offered by the applicant is hereby accepted and qualified in their various subject areas. With the receipt of all exhibits and a list of experts being entered into the record, let us proceed with our hearing. You may call your first witness.
Thank you, Chair Ishii. Victoria Ward calls as its first witness, Kaiolani Fudaro.
Morning.
Morning.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you are to provide is the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning, Ms. Fudaro. Can you please state your name, place of employment, and position, please?
Kaiolani Sodaro, Senior Vice President, Planning and Development, Victoria Ward Limited.
Chair Ishii, at this time, we'd like to ask permission for my co-counsel to share her screen for portions of Exhibit 30, which is a slide presentation. Sure. Thank you. Good. Thank you very much. Ms. Sodara, can you please give us an update on what's been going on in Ward Village?
Good morning. We're excited to share the latest updates for Ward Village as many aspects of the Ward Neighborhood Master Plan are now coming together. Ulana Ward Village, which is under construction, is now 99% pre-sold and will provide nearly 700 additional reserved housing homes for local families in the heart of the Mauka area. Upon completion of Ulana and combined with the reserved housing homes at Kekilohana and A'ali'i, Ward Village will have over 1,200 reserved housing homes in the urban core. This is more than currently required, more than originally proposed in the Ward Master Plan, and the reserved housing will be completed well in advance of future market housing. Adjacent to Ulana, Victoria Ward Limited is constructing Kala'i'o Kukulai'eo Park, which will provide approximately 30,000 square feet of additional playground and recreational lawn, open green spaces for our community on the Elva side of Ward Village, steps away from the planned Awahi Street Promenade. Both Kala'i'o Kukulai'eo Park and the Awahi Street Promenade are scheduled to be completed in conjunction with the Ulana Ward Village project. Mahana Ward Village will be at the intersection of Ward Avenue and the de facto Halikuala Street extension. This extension is planned in conjunction with the Park Ward Village, which is also under construction. The de facto Halikuala Street extension will connect Halikuala Street from Ward Avenue all the way to Kamakee Street and will provide an additional east-west connection through Ward Village. It will be shaded, have a walkable retail corridor for pedestrians lined with more shops and restaurants. As part of the Halikuala retail corridor, the Park Ward Village here, which will be across the street from Mahana Ward Village, will have extensive retail on the ground floor and will integrate with a major 37,000 square foot expansion of the Victoria Ward Park, Mauka, which will include extensive improvements, inclusive of a playground area, more public art, and additions to the park's landscaping, lighting, and activation. Upon completion, the Mauka and Makai phases of the Victoria Ward Park combined will be nearly 11,000 square feet larger than originally proposed in the Ward Master Plan, and will feature 3.5 acres of open space for the public in the heart of Kaka'ako. Victoria Ward Limited has focused on providing open space in the Ward Village. Under approved and planned development permits, including Mahana, the neighborhood will have over 388,000, which is nearly 9 acres of open space in urban Honolulu, which is well over the approximate 246,000 square feet of open space originally envisioned in the Ward Master Plan. Victoria Ward Limited also continues to provide significant public facility dedications with over 233,000 square feet of public facilities provided and pending for public use easements for walkways, roadways, utilities, and other uses within the neighborhood. Including the public facility dedications required for Mahana Ward Village, this exceeds the amount of public facility dedications required under the vested rules by over 131,000 square feet. The safety and well-being of our community remains Victoria Ward's priority. We are back with a robust schedule of our popular and new community events within Ward Village, including Kona Nui Summer Nights, First Saturdays, Happy Aloha Friday Music Series, our Read Aloud series, lots of recreational activations, and upcoming holiday events. These events provide much needed opportunities for us all to gather, connect, and rejuvenate with others in Ward Village's public open spaces, including the Victoria Ward Park. As the neighborhood continues to mature, we are continuing to plan and organize the commercial tenant mix with residential and community use. Special attention is being paid to the mix and proximity of these uses to ensure a healthy balance between live, work, shop, dine, and play. Ward Village is currently home to 33 restaurants, cafes, and entertainment venues, retail shops, and many specialized neighborhood services. All of our project milestones support our community giving. Thus far, Ward Village has contributed almost $4 million to our community partners, and our employees continue to serve their communities as well. Our strides towards sustainability and climate resiliency include being a USGBC LEED Master Plan neighborhood, numerous residential new build certifications, currently at 8 and 4 registered, to include most recently A'ali'i being certified this year. Site design, infrastructure, water conservation, energy efficiencies, and building management systems that all put best practices in place.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sodaro. Can you please tell us about the proposed project we'll be talking about today, Mahana Ward Village?
The name Mahana evokes sentiments of warmth and hospitality, and Mahana Ward Village's location and features embodies the history and hospitality of the Ward Estate at the Smauka Gateway to Ward Village and the Halikuala Retail Corridor. Mahana Ward Village respects and reflects this sense of place through its pedestrian-friendly design and features and various architectural elements, including those inspired by the natural light and warmth of the sun, native palm motifs, and natural materials. With 340 homes, Mahana Ward Village thoughtfully accommodates a unique site while incorporating and synthesizing many of the design strategies envisioned in the Ward Master Plan as informed through HCDA's decisions. Mahana features extensive pedestrian activation on the ground floor, generous podium and tower setbacks, podium level homes, and a signature tower that maximizes the Malkamakai view corridor through Victoria Ward Park. This view corridor through Central Ward Village is in addition to the 2 Malkamakai view corridors through Ward Avenue and Kamakei Street originally proposed in the Ward Master Plan. Mahana Ward Village will have nearly 17,000 square feet of ground floor commercial space along Halikuala and overlooking the plaza on Ward Avenue. The plaza accommodates the entrance to the planned Heart Station, which is Malka of Mahana. This commercial area will provide a convenient and active space that will welcome pedestrians to the Halikuala Retail Corridor and will particularly complement the commercial space across Halikuala at the Park Ward Village and provide convenient access to the open and green space at the expanded Victoria Ward Park. The retail and outdoor areas of Mahana Ward Village transition into a unique triple height lobby and porte cochere that provides a grand entrance surrounded by windows to facilitate spaces filled with natural light. A colonnade matching the height of the lobby wraps around the platform, providing a protected walkway between parking, retail, and residences, while also providing shade for the ground floor outdoor seating areas adjacent to the platform. Other features at Mahana Ward Village include extensive landscaping, sculptural hardscape elements, seating areas, public art, and liner facades, which in combination with the podium level homes and colonnades screen the parking podium and add much visual interest. These areas transition into the spacious lobby and the triple height porte cochere integrated within the podium to minimize pedestrian conflicts while providing convenient access for vehicles and bicycles. Let me spend a quick few minutes here to take you through the floor plans of each level of Mahana to emphasize its major features. The ground level features commercial areas along Halikuala and overlooking the plaza on Ward Avenue. The accommodation for the entry to the planned Heart Station, outdoor shaded seating areas under the colonnade, and a residential drop-off tucked within the building. Floors 2 to 7 consist of residential units in the podium, thus providing additional buyer options and diversity, additional interaction with the street, as well as screen parking structure and adding visual interest within the podium. Floor 8 has the recreational deck, and floors 9 through 34 focus on orientation of the long side of the slender tower, Malcolm High, preserving view planes, both through Ward Avenue and through Victoria Ward Park. The tower is significantly set back from the Ward Avenue, yet it is positioned to ensure that the view plane through Victoria Ward Park is preserved.
Thank you. What are the economic impacts anticipated from Mahana Ward Village?
As with other Ward Village developments, Mahana will provide significant economic contributions to our state and local economy. Accounting for the additional indirect and induced economic impacts, the construction of Mahana is estimated to generate approximately $434 million, a considerable $146 million in earners' workings, nearly $27 million in state tax revenues, and for the duration of the project, the annual job numbers 396 jobs annually. Mahana operations and maintenance over a 30-year period are anticipated to generate in present 22 constant dollars, close to $116 million in output, $38 million in workers' earnings, $7 million in state tax revenues, and nearly $73 million in real property taxes for our city's bonding capacity, and over $1.3 million in DOE school impact fees. We are proud of our continuing commitment and investment in Ward Village, Kaka'ako, urban Honolulu, and continuing to meaningfully contribute to our state's economy.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sodaro. Are you familiar with and have you reviewed Hart's comment letter dated June 21st, 2023, and its email dated June 23rd, 2023, regarding the project that Mr. Tam mentioned in his staff report?
Yes, I have.
And what is Victoria Ward's response to Hart's comments at this time?
We are aware of Hart's comments and we will comply.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chair Ishii. Ms. Sodaro is available for any questions.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Duro? Yes, I have a question. I'll start with one. So it seems like there's about 17,000 square feet of commercial spaces that you're looking at for this new project at Mahana. How many individuals do you feel or expect to employ in these commercial spaces? And the reason I'm asking this is where will they park? And how has this been incorporated, or how have you thought this through as far as the parking area? Because that's relatively tight as far as parking is concerned.
So, thank you. Maybe if I start with the parking first. So Ward Village's parking strategy is that of a multimodal solution, which incorporates cars plus bicycles and walking and mass transit. We have taken a district parking garage approach. And so the commercial parking for Mahana is actually in crossing the street over to Park Ward Village. There's a district garage that we're building there. And then there's also already the district garage that is at IO. So we don't necessarily pull people into every single project per se for the commercial parking, but rather doing 3 spread out retail district garages. Currently, we have a similar approach, but we're moving in, and commercial employees do park there. Also, we also don't charge for parking, nor do we prevent people from going across the street per se, like outside of, Ward Village, especially with along that Queen Street corridor. I would need to pull the economic impact report that Paul Brubaker did to verify the projected employment for those commercial spaces, but it does fluctuate depending if it's, retail or restaurant. Obviously, restaurant is more intensive, but their hours of operations too can flux subject to some of the retails. So offhand, we're probably talking any one time, probably at least 50 or 60 people, because it's about 300 linear feet, about, a block size of 4 to 5 bays, depending on its.
I guess the reason for my question is I'm starting to see more and more commercial build out, right?
Mhm.
And when you see a lot of these employees parking in the parking lots within the Ward Village area, and you're starting to see parking becoming more and more challenging as it continuously grows,
Mhm.
not only from its popularity perspective, but also, there is more employees as well. So
We're also going through, if I may, like a conversion of we are demolishing old commercial space. and building out new commercial space. And so that process is really a transition point in time, like, so we, for example, we demolished, Ward Warehouse, but we are rebuilding that commercial square footage. So it's not necessarily just a pure add of commercial parking impact, because we are methodically rotating through and replacing prior commercial space with newly commercial space, which nets.
So similarly, my assumption is that the residential tower employees are free to park accordingly.
Yes, we don't stipulate on behalf of the ALUO where employees park per se, but the other thing that's starting to happen with, our first decade is the multimodal solution. And Kathy Leon can kind of speak to that with the dedicated bike lanes. We see much more bike parking happening in the e-scooters and the electric razors, I guess they are. So we do see more non-car commute, both to work and residents. We are seeing that with just, the bike racks and having to put in more bike racks for those multimodal options.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Board members?
I do. Chase,
Member Sakota?
Kevin Sakota. Hi, Kailani. Good morning. I'll bring up an issue that I brought up before. One of my concerns as a resident here and seeing Ward Village develop and everything's kind of starting to look great. But one of my concerns that is sort of the differentiation between sort of the dedicated spaces versus the spaces that are controlled or paid for by the Ward Village Owners Association. So there's a lot of delineation between who pays for what, tree trimming, landscaping, et cetera, et cetera. And I still haven't seen sort of the budgets for that process. So one of the things that I'm concerned about is, all the plans and everything looks beautiful, but maintenance of it will be an ongoing and growing concern going forward, especially with the nice park areas, et cetera, going on. Can you kind of give me your thoughts or give the board your thoughts as far as if there's any really planning or budgets that are looked at in terms of the maintenance of these park areas and sort of the common areas of Ward Village?
Thank you, Member Sakota, for the question. Sure thing. If I could, I'm happy to provide supplemental information, maybe outside of the PDP application, to get that to you as well. Specifically though, the Ward Village Owners Association is no different than any other master plan community developed, on Oahu and elsewhere. It takes the same form as, the more traditional master plans that we're all familiar with, like in Eva and Mililani, et cetera. As more residential units, do come online, it does broaden the impact to maintain those public facility dedicated areas that you're referencing. And the Ward Village Owner Association does meet, a few times a year. And we do communicate that through the individual ALUO general managers and property management associations. And I'm happy to provide you, specific contact information, Member Sakota, on behalf of other residents. So mahalo for the question.
Okay, thanks, Colin.
Yeah, mahalo.
Member Harai?
Just a semi-related question, just that you know the answer.
Mhm.
The Halakawira Street extension, is that going to be dedicated to the city or is that going to be a private road?
So it is not, and we kind of are referring to it as an extension because a portion of Halikuala Street is, but at Ward Avenue to Kamakee, it's actually an internal driveway that services, the parking garages and the loading commercial activities. So it is not designed to city standard like a traditional street word. So no, sir, it's not.
Thank you.
Yeah, no mahalo for confirming.
I know you mentioned that you're gonna be compliant with HART and your discussions with them. But I guess the coordination of this, the timing, right?
Mhm.
You have different potential time dates going on, timelines wise. So I was wondering, how are you gonna line up the qualifications or the requirements that needs to occur?
Sure. We're really following the same consultation that we had with IO and AALI, which are also adjacent to the rail path and guide rail. line alignment rather. For Mahana, we've been working with Vance Tasuda. He's the deputy project director, and he was been coordinating with us the more recent TOD station plans, which we provided in an appendix form to the PDP application. And through HCDA staff guidance, we have made changes to the proposed transit plaza corridor to do exactly just that, and have a dedicated connection, like a public, like a pathway that, you know, connects straight into where the revenue escalators and stairs are for the
So is that gonna
station.
be a permanent public easement?
Yes,
See, I
yeah,
see.
and so we'll be through the DNO process identifying that. The trellis structure that Director Tam mentioned is a temporary wind mitigation. Because in the absence of the TOD station being built, we just need to, we're trying to better the wind impact to the sidewalk, the public sidewalk, and so hence. It's like a proposed trellis pergola, lightweight, just to help wind mitigation until the station is built. But otherwise, the grade plans do align, and that's something that Mr. Tasuda's been working with us on to ensure.
I see, okay. Other questions?
Peter, I
board member?
have a question.
Yes. Vice
Yes,
Chair Wu.
regarding, how refined is your entertainment or music policy at this point?
Oh, policy is generous, member of full. Well, we only Hawaiian music now in our speakers all throughout Ward Village. But we have, depending on the festivals and the event organizers that we work with, it actually spans the type of music, and genre, as well. But right now, our summer series, it is Aloha Friday. So there is a slant to Aloha style, guitar, ukulele music. But we are open and have been looking now that the Mackay Park will be opening next year on how to do, larger festivals that our local performers are interested in.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Vice
So
Chair.
as a follow-up to that, Kaiulani, I mean, are those events, I mean, I think right now they're covered by the developer, but in the future, will that fall to the owners association?
Only if the Ward Village Owners Association chose to have a promoting function, member Sakota. But
Gotcha.
you are
Okay.
correct, currently that's done through our marketing department.
Right. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Any other questions for this witness?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes. Executive
Thank you.
Director.
Mr. Darrow, thanks for coming out and testifying, and thanks to your team for testifying. I just wanted to draw your attention to page 8 of the staff report with respect to industrial use for the board's information. So there's a requirement to provide or maintain a certain amount of industrial floor area. And after this project is done, the staff report notes a deficit of a certain amount of industrial floor area on a master plan basis. Do you know how that deficit is gonna be addressed? Is that a fair question? Sorry.
Sure, I'm happy to, and we do have expert witness Tom Schnell speaking specifically to this,
Okay.
since it is kind of a historical accrued table.
Yeah.
Through the prior DNOs and clarifications, we probably wouldn't characterize it as a deficit. Since it was clarified not to be a minimum, but a maximum floor area. We are in, if I could kind of go to that conversion idea where we are with like Ulana right now, we are building out more than 30,000 square feet of light industrial. So we are in this inflection period in which it is correct. We've had to subject different tenant uses or the need to demolish, for a new structure to be built. But then giving Ulana its, 2-year construction period, and then we'll be able to kind of bring back all of that light industrial class A instead of adapted light industrial, which is what we're replacing. And there's a lot of tenant excitement, and we can have our expert witness, Emilia Peach, also speak to, the headwinds of recruiting those type of tenants. But we are in that build back section. And I'll defer to Tom Chanel to maybe to speak to the technical table maintenance of the square footages. But we are building it back now.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Ms. Starr. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? If not, you can call your next witness.
Thank you very much, Chair Ishii. Thank you, Ms. Sodaro. Our next witness is Tom Schnell.
Now, if you could raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm that the testimony that you'll be providing is the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Schnell. Can you please state your name, place of employment, and position for the record, please?
Well, my name is Tom Schnell. I'm with PBR Hawaii and Associates. And I'm a principal and a planner at the firm.
And how long have you been in this position?
I've been a principal at PBR Hawaii for 10 years, but in total, I have over 24 years of experience as a professional planner with PBR Hawaii. And among other affiliations, I'm accredited by the American Institute of Certified Planners. I'm a member of the American Planning Association Hawaii Chapter, Lambda Alpha International Aloha Chapter, and the Urban Land Institute.
And what is your experience specifically with Kaka'ako?
So specifically with Kaka'ako, in my position as a principal with PBR, I've been the principal in charge of preparing and processing several HCDA development permit applications. I've prepared and processed 7 plan development permit applications for Victoria Ward in the Kaka'ako Makai area. I've prepared and processed a development permit for Kupu for the Ho'okupu Center within the Kaka'ako Makai area. I've also prepared and processed 2 development permit applications for projects in the HCDA Kailoa area. And this year, I prepared and processed a 2-1-H affordable housing application for a large affordable housing project in the Kaka'ako Maka area. Sorry, Kaka'ako Maka area. I've also been a member of the Kaka'ako Design Advisory Board, or DAB, and as a technical consultant, and I've reviewed several Kaka'ako Maka projects as a DAB member. And I've been a Kaka'ako resident for 25 years. So as a resident, I'm very interested in what's going on in Kaka'ako. I walk through the district daily, and I keep up to date with HCDA rules and permits and proceedings and plans.
Thank you, Mr. Schnell. Can you please describe the project we're talking about today, Mahana Ward Village?
So Mahana Ward Village will be on land block 1 of the Ward Master Plan. It's between Queen Street and Halikuwila. And Mahana will be to the east or Eva of Ali'i. If you can see it on this slide. And to the east or Diamond Head of Ward Avenue. Along with the Park Ward Village, Mahana will be at the entrance of the extension of Halikuwila, which will provide a direct east-west connection through Ward Village between Ward Avenue and Kamakea Street that Kailani mentioned already. This slide provides a closer view of the Mahana Ward Village building and site plan. And the next slide provides the numbers and square footages of Mahana. So Mahana will provide approximately 423,218 square feet of new floor area. This includes nearly 17,000 square feet of ground level commercial space, nearly 48,000 square feet of indoor and outdoor recreation areas, approximately 406,000 square feet of residential floor area. This includes 340 homes, which would be studios to 3 bedrooms, and includes podium level homes on levels 2 through 7. a projected maximum height of approximately 348 feet plus up to 18 feet for rooftop elements.
And Mr. Snell, based on your experience and in your professional opinion, is Mahana consistent with the vested rule?
Yes, Mahana's design is consistent with the vested rules and is informed by the design principles of the Ward Master Plan.
And we have a couple of additional slides here with some renderings. Is there any additional information about Mahana that you'd like to describe based on these slides?
Well, I'd just like to point out these slides again, which Kailani also showed in her presentation, but this shows renderings of Mahana Ward Village from Haleakala Ward looking east, Haleakala looking from Victoria Ward Park, from Ward Avenue, looking from near Longs, and from Haleakala looking west.
Let's briefly discuss the major criteria that HCD is required to consider in connection with planned development permits pursuant to Hawaii Revised Statutes, Chapter 206. First, will Mahana protect, preserve, or enhance desirable neighborhood characteristics through its compliance with the standards and guidelines of the vested rules and the master plan?
Yes. So as a couple examples, table 5.2 of the application summarizes Mahana's conformance with the vested rules and the Ward Master Plan. The exhibits and the tables in the application also illustrate in detail how Mahana complies with the vested rules of the Ward Master Plan. As an example, table 5-3 of the application describes the floor out area allocated to land block 1, where Mahana is located, as well as throughout Ward Village. The existing approved and planned floor area for the various uses within Ward Village, inclusive of Mahana, complies with the master plan decision and order. Getting to Craig's question earlier, the decision and order for the Ward Village Master Plan provides in finding of facts number 46 and 68 that the amounts of floor area for residential, retail, commercial, and industrial within Ward Village are maximum amounts of floor area for each use. And just turning to another point in the application, for the record, we've submitted an erratum to exhibit 28, which clearly shows the orientation of the Mahana Tower and how it complies with the requirements of the vested rules. The document is marked as hearing exhibit 29.
All right, Mr. Schnell, let me circle back to the question raised regarding the floor area, specifically the industrial floor area for Ward Village. In your view and expert opinion, based on the master plan decision order, finding of fact 46 and 68, which you mentioned, which specify the maximum amount of floor area in Ward Village, including industrial area, is there a deficit of industrial floor area in Ward Village currently?
So to directly answer your question, I believe there's not a deficit of floor area, of industrial floor area. I looked at the master or the decision order on the master plan last night, and finding of fact 46 actually specifies that the areas are maximums and not minimums. And that's so maximum residential, maximum retail, restaurant, entertainment, maximum office, commercial, and other, and maximum industrial. But as the process of the master planning went along, the maximums were not hit and they were never meant to be hit. And in connection with Victoria Ward Limited provided and HCD approved the development program for industrial area in Ward Village in June 2021. And this report forecast 2,779 200,079 Let me start over. 279,437 square feet of industrial use in Wood Village. So the projected in floor area for industrial of 279,437 square feet is on track at this point and is projected to be built out.
And Mr. Schnell, is it correct that in addition to finding of fact 46 that you mentioned, that the maximum floor area is also characterized in a second finding of fact 68 in the Ward Master Plan Decision Order?
That's correct.
And is it also correct, Mr. Schnell, that finding of fact 46 that you mentioned, does it discuss any flexibility in terms of the maximum floor areas mentioned in that finding?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Sure. In finding of fact 46, in addition to discussing the maximum floor areas, including for industrial use, does it also mention any flexibility granted to the developer with respect to those maximum uses?
It does. It specifically says that for each use, the petitioner is requesting that the allocation of floor area for each use be flexible to accommodate changing market conditions and evolving needs of the community.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Schnell. Turning back to Mahana Ward Village, will Mahana also advance the goals, policies, and objectives of the Malka Area Plan?
Yes, Mahana will significantly advance the livable, mixed-use, walkable community envisioned for Kakako in the 2005 Malka Area Plan with ground floor retail, street activation, and open space. In addition, residents and visitors will be able to easily walk and access the shops, restaurants, and recreation areas within Ward Village, including the Hollywood Retail Corridor and Victoria Ward Park. This slide shows the commercial area on the ground floor of Mahana. And Mahana features nearly 17,000 square feet of commercial space along Hollywood, fronting the plaza along Ward Avenue and enhancing the pedestrian convenience and activation along these major thoroughfares. A colonnade along the podium provides protection and shade for food and beverage offerings, while facilitating access to and from Mahana and beyond. On this slide, Mahana shows the location of the podium homes. So Mahana will also include homes within the podium to provide street activation, visual interest, and diversity of housing options within Ward Village. These and other features of Mahana Ward Village contribute to the mixed-use community envisioned in the Malka Area Plan and the Ward Master Plan. On this slide, just illustrates, in addition, Mahana has been coordinated with major existing and contemplated transportation routes, recreation and service areas, and is consistent with HDA's transit-oriented development principles. In short, Mahana will provide excellent pedestrian and multimodal connectivity for residents and visitors, and is located near jobs, recreation areas, retail, dining, and transportation services.
Will Mahana positively impact community amenities such as gathering places, community centers, culture and the arts facilities, and the full array of public facilities normally provided by the public sector?
Yes, Mahana is bringing additional street level amenities and social gathering spaces to encourage neighborhood interaction and connectivity within Kakako. And as noted before, in addition to providing commercial space and outdoor seating and gathering areas on site, Mahana will also be conveniently located and will facilitate access to Hollywood Retail Corridor and Victoria Ward Park.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Snell. We have no further questions for Mr. Snell at this time. He is available for any questions from.
Thank you. Board members, are there any questions for Mr. Snell?
Chair, it's Kevin Sakota. Morning, Tom. Kevin Sakota. Couple questions for you right off the bat. Just based on your urban planning experience and living in Kakako, I'm curious, just in your opinion, in seeing Ward Village develop. I think we're 5 or 6 buildings into a 14 building project. Where do you think we are in terms of like getting the Ward Village area up to speed in terms of like foot traffic, commercial space viability, lifestyle, etc. A lot of the things we're talking about today are kind of in the distant future as far as developing, but my view is that there is a sort of a tipping point where Ward Village will enter into a population sort of threshold where the area will actually become more vibrant than it already is. And then my second question for you is, just as a board at HCDA, what can we do to help facilitate and see that Ward Village really develops into the vision that Howard Hughes has had for the area?
Let me address your first question first. I think Ward Village is at a tipping point now where it's really coming into focus and into shape. Throughout the pandemic, I walked through Ward Village, and in the last year or 18 months, I really see a big uptick in, well, of course, the pandemic was a low point, but so a lot of street activity now, mornings, afternoons, evenings. I think with the opening of Kuula and in the future, the opening of the Park Ward Village and the revitalization of the Central Plaza Park, Victoria Ward Park, is really going to be a tipping point and key. And if you walk through recently, the narrowing of Oahe Street and the additional landscaping in front of the Ward Village movie theaters is really changing the character of the area and making it a much more pleasant walking experience. But I see activation all the time when I walk through. I was actually at dinner in Ward Village on Friday night. I was amazed to see people in residence in Victoria Ward Park in the evenings, just, relaxing and using the grass or walking their dogs. And it's really a significant change from what happened before, what was there before, and actually compared to other areas in Kakako too, to see people utilizing the park in the evening in Kakako. Your second question was what can HCDA do to facilitate more activation? I think we're at that point now where this project is being proposed. Once this project is built out, Mahana Ward Village, along with the park Ward Village, that area, that core area, land block 1, is really going to be built out, and that's where you're going to see a huge change in the character of that area. And then across the street, Kalai is coming up too. So that core area will be done. And the extension of Halikuwila Street to Pohokaina Street is going to change activity patterns too, and connect the Ward Village greater with the entire Kakako area. I think we're at a good point where, moving the various permit applications along to complete the master plan is really going to achieve the ultimate activation of the master plan. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Any other questions for this witness? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Call your next witness.
Thank you, Chair Shi. Our next witness is Emilia Peach, who will be testifying via Zoom. And there she is.
Morning.
Good morning. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm that the testimony that you're going to be providing is the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning, Ms. Peach. Can you please state your name, place of employment, and position, please?
Yes. My name is Emilia Peach. I am Vice President in the Retail Service Division in Colliers.
And can you please tell us about your real estate experience with Colliers?
Sure. I have been at Colliers for over 16 years now, where I have extensive experience specializing in urban and resort retail properties, including Waikiki and urban Honolulu.
And please tell us about Colliers' experience in real estate.
Sure. Colliers is a leading diversified real estate services and investment management and leasing company. We have extensive knowledge and experience of the supply and demand of real estate, including Paka'ako and the Honolulu urban core, including residential and commercial uses, among others.
What was Colliers retained to do for this project, Mahana Ward Village?
Victoria Ward Limited requested that Colliers provide an analysis and conclusions regarding 1, the benefits of retail and commercial space at Mahana Ward Village to increase pedestrian activation. 2, the benefits of retail strategy in Ward Village. And 3, the benefits of proposed project modification.
Before sharing with us your analysis and conclusions, can you please tell us where Mahana Ward Village is located in relation to the Ward Village community?
Mahana Ward Village is located and bounded in part by Ward Avenue to the northwest and Halikuila to the southwest. The project will enjoy convenient access from Halikuila, which will provide a direct route through Ward Village and connect the greater Kaka'ako community. Mahana Ward Village includes a plaza on the northwest corner, which will provide a natural transition to and from the planned Honolulu Rapid Transit Project Station, and allows for seating areas that will activate the ground level at the corner of Ward Avenue and Halikuila. Mahana Ward Village will also enjoy convenient access to the expanded Victoria Ward Park to the south, immediately across from Halikuila.
Can you please describe for us your analysis and conclusions with respect to this project?
Mahana will include approximately scaled retail offerings and features to effectively activate the project site at this key intersection on the Mauka side of Ward Village and complement the Halikuila retail corridor. First, looking at Mahana's own retail offerings and features, it is my expert opinion the following project characteristics are especially noteworthy. The podium will feature nearly 17,000 square feet of ground floor commercial space fronting both the plaza on the northwest corner and Halikuila to the southwest. Shaded outdoor seating fronting the ground floor commercial space will encourage access to the Halikuila retail corridor and the expanded Victoria Ward Park. The podium also incorporates an outdoor triple height colonnade that lines the Halikuila frontage. The colonnade design serves multiple purposes, as it both provides a protected walkway between parking, retail, and residents, and provides covered outdoor seating for future food and beverage offerings on the ground floor. Overall, the design will enhance customer experiences by providing a functional space that is comfortable and inviting to customers. In my expert opinion, the amount and location of the retail offerings at Mahana Ward Village, in conjunction with other features of the development, include the plaza and the colonnade, will effectively encourage pedestrian activation within the project, while also providing sufficient pedestrian interest and footfall to help support the retail offerings.
Ms. Peach, let me stop you there. So we have a couple of more slides that we just like to just run through. Slides 6 and 7, I believe. So if you can advance through those. And at this point, Ms. Peach, we're going to rest on the remainder of your testimony. So thank you, and she is available for any questions from the board.
Before we get to questions, for the record, Alice Evans, member Mary Alice Evans had to leave the meeting at 10 o'clock. Any questions for this witness? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You may call your next witness.
Thank you, Chair Shi. I have been informed that Joseph Ferraro, who we intended to call as a witness, is unexpectedly not available at this time. So if there are no objections, we'd like to submit and rest on Mr. Ferraro's written testimony, which has been previously received into evidence as Exhibit 9.
Any objections?
No.
If not, thank you.
Thank you. Victoria Ward's next witness is Glenn Kauai.
You raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm that your testimony that you'll be providing is the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Please state your name, place of employment, and position for the record, please.
My name is Glenn Kauai. I'm a Vice President and Director of Civil Engineering at Wilson Okamoto Corporation.
And you submitted written testimony in this matter, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Chair Ishii, we rest on Mr. Kauai's written testimony, which has been received into evidence as Exhibit 15. He is available for any questions by the board.
Is there any questions for this witness? Director, any questions? No. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Victoria Ward's next witness is Kathy Leong, who is appearing via Zoom. Ms. Leong, are you there?
Yes,
You could please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you are providing is the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Ms. Leong, can you please state your name, place of employment, and position for the record, please?
My name is Kathy Leong. I'm the Director of the Transportation Group at Wilson Okamoto Corporation.
And you provided written testimony in this matter, is that correct?
Yes,
We rest on Ms. Leong's written testimony, which has been received into evidence as Exhibit 17, and she is available for any questions by the board.
Board, any questions for Ms. Leong? Executive Director?
No.
Thank you very much, Ms. Leong. You can call your next witness.
Thank you, Ms. Leong. Victoria Ward's next witness is Paul Brubaker, who is also appearing by Zoom.
Morning.
Aloha.
Mr. Brubaker, could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're providing would be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Dr. Brubaker, can you please state your name, place of employment, and position, please?
Paul Brubaker. I'm the principal of an economics consultancy, TZ Economics, and I operate from home in Kailua.
And you provided written testimony in this matter, is that correct?
Yes, I did, summarizing an economic impact report.
All right, thank you, Dr. Brubaker. We rest on Dr. Brubaker's written testimony report, which have been received into evidence as Exhibit 19, and he is available for any questions.
Board, any questions for Dr. Brubaker? Executive Director, any questions?
None, Chair.
Thank you very much for appearing.
Mahalo.
Thank you, Dr. Brubaker. Victoria Ward's next witness is Chad Takisui.
Morning. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you'll be providing is the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Takisui. Can you please state your name, place of employment, and position for the record, please?
Chad Takisui, I'm a realtor and chief operating officer for locations, West Queen.
And you provided written testimony in this matter, is that correct?
Correct.
Chair Ishii, we rest on Mr. Takisui's written testimony, which has been received into evidence as Exhibit 21, and he is available for any questions.
Members, any question for Mr. Takeuchi?
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Takasui. Victoria Ward's next witness is Matt McDermott, who is appearing by telephone on Zoom. Mr.
Good morning.
McDermott,
Can
are
you hear me?
there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning. Yes. Morning. Could you please, so we can't see your hand, but could you please raise your right hand, swear and affirm that your testimony that you'll be providing is the truth?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. McDermott, can you please state your name, place of employment and position, please?
My name is Matt McDermott. I'm a project director and principal investigator for Cultural Surveys Hawaii.
And Mr. McDermott, you provided written testimony in this matter, is that correct?
Yes.
Chair Ishii, we rest on Mr. McDermott's written testimony and his report, which have been received into evidence as Exhibit 24. He is available for any questions by the board.
Board, is there any questions? Executive Director for Mr. McDermott?
None, Chair.
No. Thank you very much. Call your witness, next witness, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. McDermott. Victoria Ward's next witness is Kira Downing, who is appearing via Zoom.
Aloha.
Aloha. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you'll be providing is the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Downing. Can you please state your name, place of employment, and position for the record, please?
Aloha, Kira Downing. I'm the Vice President of Communications at DISA Hawaii.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Downing. We are going to rest on your testimony, and Chair Ishii, Victoria Ward has no further questions for her at this time. We know for the record that her written testimony is marked as Exhibit 27, and she is available for any questions by the board.
Or any questions?
Peter Apo.
Vice Chair Pope?
My question is actually for McDermott, but I had my, I was muted, but she was perfectly. My interest is, what was the framework of the any cultural concerns, et cetera, overall with this project? What were perhaps some of the ideas that were generated that would address sense of place from a cultural perspective?
Sure. DISA Hawaii, we made some name recommendations based on the location of this specific property, as well as the history and culture of the entire Ward Village estate. So we looked at, this property was located in the closest proximity actually to the old plantation home. So, we knew that Victoria Ward was like fond of having people over to her house. She was hospitable and gracious and welcoming people to her home. So that was why we landed on the name Mahana, to kind of evoke those feelings of hospitality and warmth. We also know the Mahana Ward Village will be kind of the focal point of the neighborhood, connecting east and west. And so we wanted to really have that be a place where people gather, where the neighborhood and community can connect. And so that was in how we're thinking about the sense of place, specific to the land and its features.
Were there any specific challenges that was harder to reference than others? Anything that stood out?
Not as far as detailed scope of work, no.
Right. Thank you. Thanks, Kira.
Hello, Peter.
And aloha.
Thank you. Any other questions for this witness? Thank you very much. Please call your next witness.
Thank you very much, Ms. Downing. Victoria Ward has no further witnesses at this time for the presentation hearing. Thank you, Chair Ishii.
Thank you. Members or Executive Director Nakamoto, do you have any questions at this point? If not, Since the notice of public hearing was published on Thursday, June 1st, 2023, and written testimony invited as of today, HCDA has received, do you have a total count?
20 written testimonies, 19 in favor and 1 in opposition. Chair.
20 written testimonies, 19 in favor and 1 opposed. We will now take verbal public testimony. We will now hear testimony from the public. Speakers will be called upon to testify in the order on which they have signed up. Public testimony will be limited to 3 minutes each. Since each authority member has or will be given a copy of any written testimony that you might have provided, please refrain from reading your written testimony and instead summarize your comments in the time that you have available. When you are called, please clearly state your name and any organization that you represent. If you are attending virtually, please unmute your microphone and turn on your video. The first person signed up is Nathaniel Kinney. Nathaniel Kinney.
Hello, Chair.
Aloha.
Again, my name is Nathaniel Kinney, representing the Hawaii Regional Council of Carpenters. We're in support of the project, actually in support of just the general revitalization that Howard Hughes is doing in this area. I have family members that are concerned about the security of the area, and now that more of these developments have been coming in, especially more retail and this redesign of the streetscape has made it a lot safer for people. And we're obviously interested in the enormous economic impact that this project will have by bringing construction dollars down here to employ local people at living wage rates. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, Kimo Carvalho.
Aloha, good morning, Chair, members of HCDA. My name is Kimo Carvalho. I'm the Executive Director of Homemade Hawaii. I'm here to offer my support for Howard Hughes and Mahana Ward Village. For those who don't know, Homemade Hawaii, we are a nonprofit developer that is focused exclusively on building housing solutions for Hawaii's homeless. We were founded 8 years ago by Howard Hughes and the building industry in response to the Kaka'aka homeless encampment. And we were also founded because the building industry recognized that much of the affordable housing investments made in the state was not actually moving off the streets. And so over the last 8 years, Howard Hughes and many of our partners, they supported Homemade with about 15 developments that have been completed. We're very proud that, we're serving about 800 homeless each year. And much of the homeless in Kaka'ako has actually benefited from that work. For Ward Village, they continue to deliver on its master plan in a very thoughtful way. It is benefiting all of Honolulu. We recognize that housing solutions for our working professionals is in as much demand as for our homeless. And so, we just truly appreciate Howard Hughes committing to, developing a quality of life that really benefits everyone, not just those who are living in their units. They continue to live by our local values. And so, we humbly ask for your favorable consideration and approving this project. Mahalo.
Mahalo, thank you. Next witness, Eliza Talbot. Next speaker.
Hi, good morning. Eliza Talbot with the Chamber of Commerce Hawaii. We are in support of this project. We know that it will create a lot of great economic opportunities and job opportunities for our community. We support the addition of housing units, both market and affordable, to our inventory, which is arguably very, very much needed. So we are very much in favor of this project. We appreciate the work of Howard Hughes to create jobs and new housing units and look forward to seeing it come to fruition. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, I want to remind everyone, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. The next speaker is Dr. Joanna Cook. Dr. Cook.
Hi, good morning. I'm Dr. Joanna Cook. I am at Malta. And we're the co-founders of Elite Animal Hospital and Resort, which is located on Kauai House Street. We are a locally owned business and we have dozens of employees. We actually have 100 employees right now. So we very much appreciate having the growing community in Kaka'ako that Ward Village has provided. We really can see that Ward Village has built a stronger sense of community and a safer place to work and live, and we really appreciate that.
With the Mahana Ward Village, we'll be providing 340 more market homes. And we know there's a great percentage of animal owners in Kaka'ako now, and it's made it, the environment and the community has made it very easy to own pets and still live in a condo environment. And we think that it's going to be, a strong place. It's nearby us. We like the revitalization and the change in the neighborhood and the improvements that are coming with it, along with the families and the people and the pets. Most projects don't come with thoughtful planning and attention to design detail that Ward Village has done, and the master plan community is such a refreshing thing to see, of a longer term plan for what this community could really be and bring out the best of what it is.
And we've participated in many events at Victoria Ward Park for the public and the pets in the community, and it's been a lot of fun. We've raised awareness about pet healthcare and how pets can live their best life, down in Kaka'ako and Ward Village. And it is, like I said, Ward Village is creating such a great community feel. It feels a lot safer with the developments that they've already provided here in Kaka'ako, and to be able to have such a pet-friendly neighborhood, culturally strong, and continue to build places for the community. We're in strong support of this.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the next speaker is Aki and J Caliente.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Okay, so good morning, Chair Ishii and members of the HCDA board. My name is Jay Caliente Kapagan. On behalf of my family, I'm here this morning in support of the proposed Mahana Ward Village project. My family are future residents of the Park Ward Village, and we are so excited about the home ownership opportunity provided to us as local residents. We are attracted to the many conveniences and amenities provided by Ward Village, like the special restaurants, shops, and enhanced streetscapes. And the best part are the parks that we get to take our son. He's 1 years old now, but when we move in, he'll be 3. So that'll be really nice to have that park. We did submit written testimony to all of you. Thank you for your time and consideration in supporting Mahana Ward Village. We respectfully ask that you approve this project and have other local residents benefit from what Ward Village brings to our community. Thank you for your time and consideration in supporting Mahana Ward Village.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker is Gary Foster. Mr. Foster? Maybe we can come back. Next speaker, Jack Foster. Jack Foster. We'll come back to him. Brian Lee. Brian Lee. Mr. Lee.
Aloha Chair Ishii, HCDA board members, Director Nakamoto, HCDA staff and friends. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to testify. Just you have our written testimony. Again, my name is Brian Lee. I'm speaking on behalf of the Hawaii Laborers and Employers Cooperation and Education Trust. And our written testimony talks about some of the benefits already that are provided by this project. A lot of good jobs, livable wage jobs for local workers during construction as well as after construction, permanent jobs, tax money for sales taxes, income taxes, fees, property taxes to fund government operations. But I wanted to touch a little bit on what Member Sakota mentioned earlier about when is this critical mass going to happen? I'm going to suggest it already kind of happened when Whole Foods got opened up. That really was a game changer, I think. Also, the farmers market, that's really enlivened the neighborhood. The 7 acres of open park space paid for by Howard Hughes for maintenance, upkeep, open to the public, but at no cost to taxpayers. I think those are some of the tremendous benefits that this project Mahana has brought to fruition by contributing to the shared equity of the state, as well as providing new homes, subsidizing 1,200 plus below market rate homes so far, and front loading those projects too. I mean, that's something you don't see in a normal project and development, but because of the master plan, the vision, and the foresightedness and the great job that the board has been doing maintaining this vision, it's really something to be proud of. And so I just want to give you guys a lot of credit. I've seen how it's grown over the last 10, 15 years, and it's really a model for not just people in this state, but also throughout the country. So again, thanks for the great job. Really doing a lot of this through the vision of Howard Hughes Corporation and the Ward Village Master Plan and the Ward Village and the Mauka area rules that are vested. And so appreciate all the work that you guys are doing, and thank you for allowing this testimony.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay,
Gary.
yeah, Jack. Okay, Jack Foster, the next speaker.
Mr. Foster.
Mr. Foster.
Hi, this is Jack Foster. I represent Dave Foster Builders. We are a general contractor specialized in tenant improvements. A lot of projects in the Ward neighborhood we are a part of, and we're very excited for the new developments to come, such as the Mahana at Ward Village. I mean, being a general contractor, we're very excited for the 17,000 square foot of ground retail and commercial space. That'll create a sustained future employment for a lot of our workers and a lot of our subcontractors as well.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Foster.
Thank you.
Next speaker, Patrick Simon.
Hi, good morning. My name is
Good morning.
Patrick Seaman. I am speaking on behalf of being a resident here of Honolulu. And I wanted to provide support for the project. I think it will be a very engaging experience for residents, allow for, a much improved walkable experience to the community around there, and be just a general uplift to the area. So I'm in support and wanted to provide that and be brief. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Seaman. Next speaker, Gary Chen.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
My name is Gary Chen, owner of Scratch Kitchen and Lemon Supply, both located at Social Market in Ward Village. We are an expanding local restaurant business and appreciate the vision of Ward Village as a developer and community builder. I'm here today to offer my support of Ward Village's proposed project, the Mahana Ward Village. This new project demonstrates the thoughtful planning and consideration line of future housing, careers for our workforce and commercial business. There will also be an additional 17,000 of commercial space for local to enjoy. More residents means more customer, more business for us. My customer enjoy the outdoor dining experience and walk away while they shop and eat. Thank you for all your time and consideration in supporting Mahana War Village. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair, why don't we go back to Gary Foster? Okay, let's go back to Gary Foster. Are you there? Gary Foster, no? Okay, next speaker, Ryan Aspergren. Ryan? No. Is there anyone present who wishes to testify on this item? If there's no further public testimony, I will proceed with the closing of today's proceedings. Council. do you have
Aloha, this
anything
is Tim Goshi.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, yeah, just for chiming in late. This is Tim Goshi. I'm a senior associate at Kai Hawaii, which is
Yes.
one of the largest structural engineering firms in the state, and also the current vice president of the association. Just wanted to say, yeah, thank you for allowing me to chime in real quick. I fully support the Mahana project, as it will be impactful for the jobs it will create for the design professionals like myself, and the ones that I represent, as well as contractors. It will provide, much needed housing for the residents of our state, and it will, help to foster business for local entrepreneurs. But just wanted to chime in real quick. Thank you for your time, Aloha.
Thank you, Mr. Goshi. Is there any other further public testimony? If not, I will proceed.
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yes, I'd like to just make a comment.
Yes, Mike.
I'm really fascinated by the deliberate integration of a managed animal population into the model. I live in a community with a lot of animals that do have the advantage of people that have yards. And next door to us is apartments where they don't have yards. And there's a huge difference when you get to the apartment livers who take their animals out. And the dynamic that it creates is so fascinating. And I just wanted to comment that I really applaud that integration. The friendships that develop within the community and the sense of place of people walking their animals out in the street is a very arresting, very positive, sense of community. And I just wanted to mention that and say I love it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Vice Chair Poe. If there's no further public testimony, I will proceed with today's closing of the proceedings. Council, do you have anything else to add?
Chair Ishii, applicant Victoria Ward Limited has no further evidence for this presentation hearing. I would like to thank the board and the staff, and we look forward to tomorrow's modification hearing. Thank you.
Thank you. Now the authority would like to close the record for the hearing, unless the council for the applicant would like to request the record be kept open.
Chair Ishii, we would like to request that the record be kept open for the purpose of the modification hearing tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. The authority will keep the record open to allow the applicant to submit additional material into records. If there's no further comments or discussion, then on behalf of the ACDA authority members and its staff, I would like to thank you for those of you who are in attendance. As mentioned earlier, in conjunction with the development permit application, the applicant is requesting modifications from the vested Kaka'ako Mauka area rules, and we'll be making a presentation for those modifications tomorrow, Thursday, July 6, 2023 at 9:00 a.m. virtually on Zoom, and the physical meeting site will also be available. This public hearing on the applicant's presentation of its projects stands adjourned, and the time is now 10:39. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will start at 5.